Hey, it's Ryan Skaggs. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to talk about what is on a mortgage application. While I've got you, thank you so much for stopping by the Mortgage Minute YouTube channel. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I'd be forever grateful. All the videos on mortgage and real estate, trying to provide explanations and updates to you every single week. So let's dive into the screen and let's talk about what is it that a lender is asking for a mortgage application. So if you are a consumer, you're a buyer, and you want to better understand what am I getting myself into, what questions are they going to be asking, I have the answers for you. Let's get into it. So first and foremost, very basic information. Name, who you're going to be applying with. Every lender is going to want to know a 2-year history of where you have lived. If you have been renting, if you're living with family, if you've owned, that is a very important. We're going to talk about that 2-year history yet again here very soon. So if you see here, if a current address is less than 2 years, where is that former address? That is 100% an important piece. So you want to be very specific. Lenders want to better understand that you have paid rent or your mortgage on time, thus showing that stability and continuance in the future, that likelihood of paying a mortgage on time in the future. Now, when we go to the next page of the mortgage application, lenders will sometimes call this the 1003, the URLA, URLA. And if we look at the top, Uniform Residential Loan Application, the 1003 is the actual number. If you look down here at the bottom, Fannie Mae Form 1003. So that's mortgage lingo. I don't use that with consumers and my clients, but that is what you've heard this called before. That is why they're calling it. So now we're going to look at current employment. Now, again, guess what? Guess how long we want to go back? 2 years. We want to understand as lenders what a 2-year history of employment. Where have you been? You look over here on the right-hand side, gross income, base income, overtime, bonus, commission, military entitlements, other like Social Security or retirement income. So knowing what you make overall is far less important than understanding the breakdown. Lenders and loan officers like myself, we're digging and we are asking, kind of diving into these questions about what is the base, what is the bonus, what is the commission. These are all very important pieces because policy states that we can use a different average or a different piece of an hourly wage employee. We need to look at averages, just like bonuses or commissions. We need a history of it versus, hey, I made X amount of dollars on my W-2 last year. Again, that is great, but we need to know as lenders of what is inside of that. That's why this is broken down. So be ready to dive into that. If you get your final pay stub from the year prior, that'll likely have a breakdown of all the different line items for you. If applicable, self-employment. So typically if you're self-employed, we're looking at 1 to 2 years going backwards. So that way we can kind of see a picture and what's going forward. I'm going to have a different video on self-employment here at a later time. So and then income from other sources. If you're getting disability income, or if you're getting royalty payments, or as it notes out, Social Security, trust, all kinds of different pieces. That is one of those. If you are making money on a consistent basis, let the lender know, and they'll talk through if that can be used on the transaction. Next of which is assets. So absolutely positively know exactly where the money is at that you're going to use for closing, right? So if you have old 401ks and retirement incomes, less important, but know where they're at. Know the bank, be able to access it because you potentially will need 2 months of statements or 60 days of transactions to be able to use those funds as reserves or as cash to close. So when we talk about assets, we want to better understand where that cash to close is coming from. And then if there is deposits from one account to the other, we're going to be tracking those. The Patriot Act, and I'll put a link at the bottom. The Patriot Act, banks follow it, lenders follow it. When you're talking about a federal law, we are following it. The Patriot Act is saying, hey, essentially, we want to know where that cash to close is coming from and be able to document it. Now we go down to other assets. If you've got cryptocurrency and crazy stuff and money and these other things, talk to your lender about what you need to put on that application. But other assets is the part where maybe you've got some just oddball income or assets there that you want to list out on the application. Liabilities. Now, yes, you should be prepared to understand what is your monthly liabilities, but likely the credit report is going to be able to give you all of those. If you have any new debt, If you just took on a new credit card, just took on a new car, please, please, please let the lender know. They're going to want to know that because it probably doesn't show up on the credit report yet. Any other liabilities such as alimony, child support, the lenders are going to find out. The lender's like your mother. She is going to find out. So don't hide it. It's going to come out through different background checks and things that the lenders do. So make sure and be honest and forefront. And likely, if you're working with a reputable and knowledgeable lender, they'll be able to find a way to be able to get there for you. So any other property, again, if you've got vacant land or farm fields or a condo in Florida, you got to tell the lender it's going to come up. Make sure and stay in front of that. And then as we go through, we've got this other property, and then we go through the loan information. So you want to understand which mortgage is tied to which property if you do have multiple properties. And essentially, here at the end, we're wrapping up. Section 5 is the declaration. So you're answering basic questions. Have you owned the property? Things like that. And that really completes the application. And then you got some demographic information that is always collected as well. So this alone is basically the application. You can get through it. You know, I send my clients to www.scagsmortgage.com. I send them there, and then within about 15 or 20 minutes, they can complete the basic mortgage application. So drop your comments below. Let me know if you have any questions. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and thank you so much for tuning in to What is in the Mortgage Application with Ryan Skaggs and the Mortgage Minute YouTube channel. Thanks so much.